Um, but yeah, it's kind of weird to lose that area. Hey guys, hey Karen,
It
hey
is a little
Tony,
weird.
Caleb. We were chatting before we went live to we were just talking about losing part of Fantasyland. I mean Frontierland, sorry.
Yeah. Caleb's in the house. I like Caleb.
I know Caleb, and I'm sorry, Caleb, and it's all my fault. Caleb's going to be our news reporter here, at least once or twice a month, if not full time, if we can work it in. But this isn't a real job, so I keep telling him like I'm going to call you on Sunday, and we're going to figure it out and get it done. And then he texts me each night right as about to go on, going, "Hey, am I coming on tonight?" I'm like, I'm not great at this, but you get what you pay for. So
yeah.
But he did have some pretty fun stuff to talk about. Josh tomorrow being one of them. But
well, that was a surprise. Well, I don't know if it was a surprise. I think it was a surprise that it was this early in the year.
Yeah.
Given that Iger was planning on stepping down at the end. So I believe he's going to stay on board as a consultant or a senior advisor. Yeah, his contract is up. Which is good, at least for the other half of the dynamic duo.
I mean, yeah. That was my question.
He and Josh already have a pretty good working relationship, and
right.
Dana Walden and Bob Iger. I don't know what their relationship is. I'd have to do a little bit more research. I just know that she's been on the entertainment side, the media side. So she's got like one foot in Hollywood and another foot in Disney. So that's going to be a nice compliment for Josh, I think, because he's mostly parks.
Yeah.
So now he'll get some advice on maybe what should be on Disney Plus. Hint, hint. I know what I want to see on Disney Plus.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Let's start because I feel like we're losing gold here. This is gonna be a good conversation. It's gonna be a good night.
Yeah.
All right, hey guys, and welcome to the But Mostly Disney podcast. I'm Tater, coming to you this week from a slightly warmer Virginia, and my friend on the other end, nodding from Charleston, South Carolina, is Andrew.
Hey everybody, from a much warmer South Carolina than we had.
Been cold. And tonight, I'm so thrilled to have back on the show Brian Crawford of Keeping Walt in Disney. He's been on before, and if you're not following him, then you're doing the internet wrong. So thanks, Brian, for coming back.
Well, thanks for having me back. Yeah, a little warm here in San Antonio. We hit 75 today.
Oh, rub it in.
We will never go below that again. South Texas.
I think we hit 60 today for the first time in 2 weeks.
We didn't quite get to 60. Mm-hmm. But we didn't get enough snow. It was just a little, like, if we're going to have it, let's really have it. My wife did get 2 days off from school, so I enjoyed that. We got to hang around here and goof off. So
yeah, we had 1 day off with the ice storm that kind of got us last weekend.
Richmond, which is only an hour and a half north of me, their schools are still closed from that ice storm.
Really? I used to live in Richmond.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's right. I think we discussed that last time you were here.
Way out on the west side. Good times. Yeah, I was stationed out there. I worked at the Defense Supply Center in Richmond for a few years.
Karen says it's still freezing in Maine, and I imagine if Chris is here, it's still freezing.
It should be, Karen.
Maine, you might as well say Canada. So.
Yeah, you're way up there.
Well, we got lots to talk about. Well, just a little behind the scenes. Usually what happens each week is Andrew, and when we have a guest, so Brian got on, we got on a little bit early before 7:30 and make sure everything's running correctly and working, which I still can't get this eCam, and it may just be computing power. I can't do the vertical for Instagram. They put out a beta where I could broadcast to Instagram and have it look right, but that's still not working. So anyway, we started talking, and I was like, well, we need to start the show because there's so many good things to talk about this week. So before we dive into Handcrafted, obviously we kind of need to talk about Josh D'Amaro becoming CEO and happening now.
Yeah.
I mean,
March 18th, I think, is his first day.
Yeah. Well, I
coming
think
up.
part of it is they came out with their earnings and it wasn't as great. And I kind of watched stocks at work, and their stock started to plummet a little bit. It went from like 113 down to 100, and it was 80 back up to 90. And I'm like,
Mm.
they're going to say something soon because they're going to want the stock to rebound soon.
Right.
So as soon as they
How did
said
it
his name, it
react
went back
after
up.
the announcement?
Sir,
How did the stock price fluctuate after the announcement today? I
it came back up like $12 or $13. Right
Yeah, and then
close.
I checked earlier. It was like 101 or something.
Yeah, it was up to 113. It was down to like low as 75.
It closed at
got back up to
104.
$100. Yeah,
But I mean,
so I
that's
think they
kind
had
of
to do something.
been their MO,
Yeah.
running in that 100 to 113, 15 range for a while now.
Are you
I
guys
don't-
stockholders?
Yes,
Yeah, not much.
Okay.
I do. I buy it monthly. It was something I just, and it's stock that I plan to give to my kids, right?
Sure.
So each month I have a little bit taken out and just kind of automatically put it in there. I tried doing some day trading for a little while and just lost my shirt. And I actually talked to my financial planner. He's like, "Why do you want to try to reinvent capitalism?" He's like, it's not,
Okay.
he's like, it's not designed for you.
Okay.
That's
And
interesting advice.
I thought it was a funny way to say it. And he does,
Yeah.
he does wealth management. So it's all long-term. He
Oh,
doesn't jump
He's
into
long
any
term, yeah.
any kind of risk
Makes sense.
stuff at all. But it really
Yeah.
was, it's so easily manipulated. And I think my family for Christmas one year got me the official stock on paper, that I have framed in my
That's cool.
bedroom.
That's kind of why I would buy it. If I bought it, would just to get that certificate. Yeah.
I mean, he said that I think since the inception of the company, it's only lost money twice, like in 2 years, like actually lost money. So
Oh,
overall,
from a year to year perspective.
yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's still a good stock. It's still got, I mean, they own everything. If you look at their subsidiaries, it's really a diversified stock. But I think stock's baloney.
Yeah.
I mean, what do I know?
Well, I don't know. I live off my pension, so
Yeah. Right. So you have to think about it, don't you?
Yeah.
yeah.
But I do.
Yeah.
I buy a little bit each month. I've been doing that for 15, 16 years. I think when I started buying it was 88. So
Wow.
I've seen
Okay.
it go from 88 to over 200 to back down to 88. Now at 101.
Well, hopefully Josh will do some great things and your investment will grow.
Well, and that's
Both of you guys.
that's
I hope
one
so.
right. That's one area where I feel like I'm a little ignorant. Like I like him, right? Everything I see about him, I like. And I've read what other people think, and there's a lot of folks who seem to think very highly of him, that he's park centric and cast member centric and experience, maybe customer centric.
Uh-huh.
But I wonder how much, even if he was our dream CEO, how much is he allowed to play, or how much is he confined to the sandbox?
Yeah. That'll be interesting to see, because I know he's always out and about. He attends a lot of the events. I mean, he goes to the D23 things, and he's always out talking with guests and cast members. I mean, when he first came on into, was it Disneyland or either Disney World? I can't remember which one, but there were a lot of videos of him just kind of chatting with cast members, asking them, what do you want to see? What kind of changes do you want to see that'll make your job here a little bit more enjoyable, that will then cause you to share the magic a little easier? And so there were things that were happening, better break rooms, better lodging, and better pay, things like that.
Which should lead to better guest experiences, right? Like if you're happy with your job, you're gonna. But I was watching, we don't watch TV anymore, so most of my viewing is YouTube, and I stumbled across this guy and a lady, never been to Disney, and they were stopping in and they stayed at the campgrounds. They pulled they're driving cross country. They're doing all 50 states. And so
is that the Lemons people?
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly who
I
it
watched
was.
the same video. Yeah,
They're-
called Van Kasky or something.
Something like that. I'd never seen them. They just happened to be recommended. And I've only watched the one video, but I'll tell you what I got out of this video is that it's really, really fun to watch people go to Disney for the first time. And I hadn't thought about how
Yep.
much joy that brought me to see how excited they were to walk, like they were just walking down to the dock to go watch fireworks, and they were an hour early, and the boat happened to be pulling up, and the guy's like, well, come on over to the Contemporary, you can watch from there. And they rode the monorail. And they knew nothing. They didn't research, they didn't
Yeah,
plan.
nothing.
They knew nothing about Disney.
Friend got him tickets. They came up, yeah.
And I love the fact too that when they left, all they could say is how amazing the cast members were. Like, you know, it
That's
can't
great.
be 100% of the time everyone's going to have some kind of interaction or a bad day or a misunderstanding or whatever. But I still think that that magic is very much alive there. You know, I don't complain much about it. We've had great experiences, but it was nice to see a stranger, you know,
Well,
not.
it was cool to see them when they talked about buying their fast passes, their lightning lanes. And they're like, yeah, we didn't realize, we didn't do any research, like we said, and we bought them a day of, and we got what we could get. And you know, they were fine with it. I'm thinking, well, how many
Yeah.
more people are that way? Because being that I'm a Disney nerd and I get upset if I don't do it exactly like this Friday, I can book all my stuff for next week. And I'm like, all right, I'm off work Friday, so I'm gonna stay up till midnight and do everything. And they're like, oh, no big deal. We can do whatever
Sure.
we, you know, for 2 days, we're happy. And I'm like, some days I'm like, I wish I was that. It's just
Well,
laid
you
back
know,
about
we watch videos and we see folks like, here's the perfect Disney day. You know, you got to be there at rope drop. You got to stack your fast passes and things like that. But
Mhm.
when you go with like this family went in with sounds like pretty low expectations, you know, we'll see what we
Yeah.
see. That's the best attitude, I think,
Yeah.
to when you're going for a day at any park is just, hey, I could be at work, but here I'm at Disneyland or I'm at Tokyo Disneyland or wherever. It's going to be a good day, and just you know, kind of see where the magic takes you. That's kind of like how we do it.
That's well,
Yeah.
obviously you should watch some of my videos because that's all we do is screw things up.
Yeah,
And-
I love
and
your
I-
videos. Like,
and I-
just
and
like,
I
what do you
go a
guys want to do? Should
Well,
we
you
go
know-
this way? Go that way?
So we tried in Disneyland because I knew we only had one day, so it's a little different, right? And I tried. I watched some videos and I made this plan and then immediately dropped it. Like we walked in and
Mhm.
you know, I don't know Disneyland, so we got there really early and we got in and there was no early entry because we weren't staying, you know, at the 3 hotels. And we just went and got coffee, walked around, and we got so much done. I mean, we had a great day,
Yeah.
but it had nothing to do with my plan. Yeah, and
Those are
so
the best days. Yeah.
Kyle, who is right now at Eat, by the way, so I'm a little jealous. Is saying that he hopes Josh doesn't, you know, forget where he comes from. And look, some of it may not. I mean, again, that's what I was kind of saying. It's not that what can he do as opposed to what he wants to do. You know,
Mhm.
how restricted are you? It'll be interesting to see.
Well, if you think back to the last D23 Expo, I still call it Expo. I mean, he was the parks guy and he led the parks panel that day, and all those projects he talked about are his projects. And so I remember one thing that he said was everything that we're going to do or we're going to talk about during this panel is a go. You know, we're going to build this, and so he's going to see those things through, which I don't know, fortunately or unfortunately means that the cars area will take over Frontierland. I mean, that's
I
already
know.
started, but he's gonna see that project through. And you know, I really like Josh's attitude when it comes to the parks and how he puts the guests first, and it's all about them. And he's going to build these things for guest enjoyment. Now, I'm kind of like Lou when he says, you know, they're not building this for me. You know,
Right.
they're building these things for the younger folks and their kids and their grandkids. And so that's the right mindset to have. Of course, deep down inside, I want to ride the what's the name of the boat out there in Florida that's gone now? The
the Liberty
it's
Bell.
Liberty Bell. Yeah. I want to ride the Liberty Bell around, you know, and I want to go over to Tom Sawyer Island and get lost in the cave. But you know, that's not what kids today want. And I understand that. But we have Disneyland, and I think that will remain. And hopefully Josh sees that. And I think Josh is really in touch with Walt's legacy and making sure that Walt Disney, the man, is still revered. I mean, we see it with the new attraction over in Disneyland, and we will see it at Carousel of Progress, how they're going to put Walt in front of that show. He's already in front of that show, but now we actually get to see him. So I really like what the company's doing to honor Walt. And I hear that people talk about Walt being a mascot, but I just don't feel that. I feel like Walt is still a living presence in Florida and California. So.
Absolutely.
Well, and that'd bring you around to the conversations we were having before we started, is what I'd like to see on Disney Plus, right? Like, I want to see more Walt, right? Like, I want all of that stuff. I want all of the Mickey Mouse Club, the original version. You know, I want to go back and watch I want to see Spin and Marty, you know, and I want the intros from Walt, because I just can't get it. I mean, again, I realize that I'm burying the needle on Disneyana, but I just like hearing him talk, you know. It makes me feel good. I feel comfortable when he's talking.
Someone in the clubhouse, WDW clubhouse, said, what are the top 3 things that you want to see if Josh was named CEO? What are the top 3 things? And my first 2 were, the first one was, let's put every film during Walt's lifetime on Disney Plus. Like, all the animated ones are there except for one, Make Mine Music. So that should go up. And then all of the live action films, because I think there's only about 75 or 80% of them on Disney Plus now.
And is that
the second one is, to your point, the first 13 seasons of the Disneyland anthology that have all the Walt lead-ins in there. Right. We want to see that stuff. They're on my YouTube channel right now, but
there's a spot.
But I want to see them restored and
you could leave the commercials in. You know, I mean, I would go back and watch the commercials.
Sure. So just goes into Handcrafted, but I was watching it with my dad, and he was talking when they're talking about ABC getting involved, and it took a year to build it, and all the shows. Dad goes, I remember watching every one of those shows on Sunday night, waiting for. I was like, well, I'd love to see him again. So we had to go to Brian's channel and some other things on YouTube, so we could see him. And I'm like, he's like, these aren't on Disney Plus. Why aren't these on Disney Plus? I'm like, that's the question everybody asks. Why is it on Disney Plus?
Well, there's a few, but most of them are not.
Right.
I would watch, literally, you could just have a channel playing the footage that they cut from Disney Handcrafted. Like, I'd watch the unedited version with no sound for hours.
Oh, wasn't that great? Are we done talking about Josh, or?
I guess so. I'm excited, right? I'm excited. I like Iger. I think Iger's done a good job. He's not Walt. He's not Eisner and Wells. I get it, but I do like. I think there was a marked difference when he took back over, you know, after Chapek, and look, tough job, right? Like, I mean, I don't hate Bob Chapek by any stretch of the imagination. That was a weird scenario. I mean, almost set up to fail, right? And again, I'm super, not apologist, but I'm super positive. I try to be, except for the lobby, the Polynesian, which they destroyed and ruined, and I'll take that to my grave.
Check. You got it.
But other things that I don't like, well, I'll give you an example, and then we can move on to Handcrafted. I think that the Country Bear Jamboree, while I really, really miss the old one, I think they did a great job. And I think, like you're saying, this isn't for me anymore, right? You know, it's not my park, even though you need to appeal to me, because I'm the one buying my kids' tickets and we spend the money. And Walt knew that and said that too. I knew this was going to touch him. So I do miss Big Al. I think they should have left it a little, they could have left a little more, but for a new kid coming, they're going to love those songs. They're going to love the humor, and it still pays a lot of homage to the original, right? Like the skeleton is still there. They just kind of changed the outfit for me. I think they did a good job.
Is Big Al in the show still?
He's still there.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
He just doesn't sing Blood on the
Coming out next month.
Oh, really?
So okay. I'll be there first part of March. I think the 6th to the 11th. I'll be out there.
So the
So
first time I saw it, I had to
finally get
tell
to see the
myself,
show.
yeah, I had to tell myself, this is for my daughter,
Yeah.
not for me, because I listen to Hank Williams and Waylon Jennings, and she listens to all this top 40 stuff. And that's what it
Yeah.
was. And I look over here, and she's smiling and singing and dancing, and I'm
Right.
like, okay, Dad can be
Yeah.
okay with this as long as she's happy. And that's like Lou says, this stuff isn't for us; it's for the next generation.
Right.
But I still
I
miss
hear
Blood on the
good
Stone.
things about it.
I
Like
I think it's
families are in
great.
there laughing and
Yeah,
singing along.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
got the feel. Like, what was I watching? Oh, The Barefoot Executive the other night. You know, I fall asleep to something like that every
Right.
night.
Kurt Russell. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I love that movie, and the
Yeah.
jokes are so corny and so cheesy, but
Yeah.
it was from a time when that was okay, right? And I realized that it doesn't hold up for everybody, that it's just not what people love. But I feel like what they did with Country Bear was keep that feeling and then modernize
Yeah.
it. You know,
Yeah.
I think they did an
Mhm.
awesome job. I miss Blood on the Saddle. I loved that song.
Yeah.
We saw it the first time. My wife and I went down for a D23 event, and so we had a really cool interview session with the Imagineers before we watched it. So before we saw the show, we got to hear what they did
cool.
and what they thought about it and what they did to pay tribute. It's kind of like, I'm glad that I listened to Lou's podcast on Handcrafted and his interview with Leslie Iwerks, because I did get to watch it with a different eye, even though I mean, look, I knew I was going to love it, but it was cool to have a little background going into it, you know, kind of a setup for it, which was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen it a couple times since it came out, and I'm pretty jealous of the folks that got to see it on the studio lot in the theater.
Oh, that was awesome.
And see it with the folks who made it. That would be an incredible experience.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. It just reminded me. I mean, so if you haven't seen Handcrafted, there's no spoilers. You don't need to stop listening or anything, but you really should run, not walk, and go watch it. It's so good and so well done. And I guess I'm not a detail guy. Like Lou's not a sweets guy. And I didn't realize that Leslie Iwerks, or maybe I had and had forgotten, that she did the Imagineering story, which I think I've watched probably 50 times, like just all the way through.
Yeah, I've seen it several.
Yeah, I just love it. I love the way it feels. I love the pacing. I love everything about it. It's perfect. And then behind the attraction for me is not as much fun. It's good info, but it's a little too boing, pow, you know, it's
yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, I agree with you.
So,
but Leslie, she's got a story to tell, and she's got the story she wants to tell in the Imagineering story, and the story she wanted to tell for Disneyland Handcrafted was, look at all these great people who spent like 20 hours a day sometimes building this park that Walt wanted done in a year. And look at that labor of
in a
love
year. Say that again.
Well, Bob Gurr says, you know, they didn't want to go home. They were, you know, like, we're here, we're working. Now you want us to drive back and then drive back. Let's just stay here and work. And I was like,
that's
how many
right.
other people said that? You know, let's just stay and work. Let's get this done.
It's hard to find that feeling, you know. I opened restaurants for a long time, and every now and again, like, I'd go into a town and we'd set one up and we'd have the whole staff come and do construction with us. Like, they just wanted to be part of it. They wanted to be there. And sometimes no one showed up. You know, it's really, it's hard to create that feeling. And I wonder how much like Disney and Walt played into that, or if it was just that, because those guys looked like my grandfather, right? They looked just like my grandfather, and they dressed the same. And I'm watching these guys out there with collared shirts on, you know, hammering things into the ground, laying railroad track.
With a cigarette in their mouth.
But that's when cigarettes weren't harmful, right? Before.
No, I mean, hey.
Unfiltered cigarettes.
Unfiltered.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
no problem.
I think what really impressed me the most about this was, like, you know, Walt Disney had a vision. He had a dream for Disneyland. And part of his job was to get everybody on board with that vision. And I think you really see that in this film, like how motivated folks are to come to work every day and to, paint the Sleeping Beauty castle, or lay rails, like you said, or twist the cap on the TWA rocket.
That's exactly
while sitting on a board that's connected to a crane and takes them to the top.
In your socks.
In your socks.
In your socked feet. I don't even think you're allowed on a construction site in like open-toed shoes, much less wandering around in your socks.
Yeah.
Anybody from
But
OSHA
those people love their job. They love doing what they were doing, because Walt just, he took that love and transferred into each person who worked on that part.
Well, and it's, and look, it's almost not even always Disney centric, but like when I'd never been to New York City. Even though I think it's neat, I'm not a city guy, and my wife took me up there for Christmas last year, and I looked around at those buildings and I thought, can we even do this now? Like, do we even know how to make these buildings anymore?
Yeah.
Like, because no one does, right? I know there were some very wealthy folks not too far from my father-in-law's house, and they had to bring people in from Italy to do the marble in their house because they couldn't find anyone in America who could.
And we get guys from Germany come put tile down at the dealership.
Right. That's crazy.
Because that's the thing,
never thought about that.
It's this level of art that it can't be machine created, right? There are some things I assume have to be done by hand. And those guys were truly artists. You watch some of the, even like you watch people hitting the railroad tracks, alternating sledgehammers. Like, I don't even know if I could do that now. You know what I mean? And then I was thinking to myself, a lot of those buildings are still standing. And they did it without laser levels. Sometimes it didn't look like they were measuring things. And in a year built most of that park, and the buildings are still there. That's incredible.
Yeah. One of the Joe Fowler is one of the guys Walt hired. He's a retired Navy admiral, I believe. And, he's kind of responsible for the whole Mark Twain, the Frontierland Rivers of America thing. He said in the film that they barely had like not even 10% of the plans done when they started building Disneyland. And there were like Ruth Shellhorn. She was a landscaper. She worked with Bill Evans. And she said that she would go home on the weekend and work all weekend just to have plans for Walt on Monday morning. And then she'd work all week. And with Bill Evans, like he said, by the seat of his pants, he was planting trees in all around the park. He didn't have a plan. He's just like, this tree looks good. Let's put it here. Yeah. There's a really cool story about how he got a lot of the trees. Like, they would drive around the LA area looking for places like where they were tearing homes down or they're building freeways. And he would, he saw some palm trees somewhere and he's like, hey, can I buy your palm trees from this guy? He's like, sure. He didn't tell him what it was for, but I think he gave him like $50 for a couple trees.
Right.
Brought a truck and said, yeah, these are going in Disneyland.
And then plant some of them upside down.
Yeah, plant them upside down. Right.
Like that. And it seems like, and I don't want to sound like, get off of my lawn, but, that maybe there was a larger group of people who had that kind of pride in their work. Like some of those guys might have done that wherever they were. Right.
Right.
And it was a sense of duty. And that's what you did. You got out of bed, you went to work and you did the best job you could. And then you went home. There wasn't, there wasn't a not my job kind of attitude, and look, they didn't want to disappoint Walt. That was the last thing they wanted to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, I don't know, sometimes to me, I think when people tell me I can't do something, that's when I really sink my teeth into things. So if you told me I couldn't get this park built in a year, I would do everything within my power to do it. And look, and there's two ways to do things. There is the way of going and planning it out and raising money and getting funds and doing it all. And then sometimes you just put a shovel in the ground and get going and you make happy mistakes as you go along, right?
Yeah. Well, that was Walt's mantra the whole time. What did he? I wrote this down here in my notes, and it's one of his most famous quotes was, the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. And even though they didn't have a plan in place, a a solid blueprint of what they wanted to build. I mean, there were maps made and things, but if you look at some of the maps that Herb Ryman drew and the way Disneyland looked on opening day, it was a lot different from what
Oh yeah.
he showed the banks. And they just, like you said, shovels in the ground, let's start building stuff. And oh wait, we're gonna put the Jungle Cruise was supposed to be on the west side of Disneyland when they first started. They moved it over to the east side because of those what's the eucalyptus trees or some really tall trees. If you've been to Disneyland, you look at Walt's apartment,
right,
and the city hall. Behind those buildings are some really tall trees that served as like a noise barrier for the Jungle Cruise, because those boats are loud, and they were shooting guns and pistols in the early days of Jungle Cruise, and so because of those trees there, you don't really hear that while you're walking on Main Street. So they had to make a lot of changes on the fly too when they built the park.
Well, and that's a big thing I see. I don't feel like my kids have it, but again, a lot of my life has been in restaurants, and in the restaurant business, you don't stop, right? Like there's no, like, if the credit card machine goes down, you hand write them down. If the lights go out, you do candles. I think you have to have working bathrooms. You can't be open without a working bathroom. But almost any other, which is funny because if you think about it, Walt had the same choice. He could have bathrooms or water fountains. Yeah. So that was really, bathrooms were kind of the only thing, and everything else we found a way to do it. We stayed open. We sold drinks. We sold food. And then when I started a professional career, I was shocked by how many folks would hit a speed bump and just stop. Oh, well, it's out. We can't fix that. I'm like, what do you mean? We haven't even started. What are you talking about? Like, I haven't even started brainstorming how to fix this. Are you really, you're successful at this? Like, it's crazy, right? And those guys just kept going.
Well, you think about who they're working for, right? This guy, Walt Disney, he lost his main character to a studio in New York. Oswald, he lost that. He wanted to create a full-length feature animated film, and nobody said he could do that. Well, he did that. And then, during the war, he like not rented. He basically let the army take over his studio. And so he had to stop making motion pictures or animated features and make things for the military. So this guy's been through everything you could possibly imagine. And so when people said he couldn't build Disneyland, he's like, well, let me show you that I'm going to do this. And well, by golly, he did it, and he was ready to go on July 17th, sort of.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, good enough, right? Good enough to still become, the legendary thing that it became, right? Like, it was, people still had fun, right? I mean, you can be critical and you can talk about women's heels, going into the concrete and all the things that went wrong. It's like my wedding, right? Like, people ask, oh, what do you do for a good wedding? You ignore the bad things. That's what you do. Were there things that went at my wedding that went wrong? Sure. But it was such a great day. We had so much fun. Hold my mouse. That's really funny. We should steal that. Karen says, hold my mouse. I'll show you.
Hold my mouse. That's right.
And that's exactly what he did, right? I mean, it's just so cool. I mean, and look, the guy was obviously exceptional. He had a vision. There was no plan on paper, but I mean, as I understand it, the last thing he was doing before he passed away was using hospital ceiling tiles to map out Florida,
Yeah,
sure.
And that guy had a scale in his head that he could do that most people can't, right?
Yeah, just he was working and dreaming all the way to the end.
And I just think about, like, and going to Disneyland, and I wish I could go back now after having seen the film and really kind of walk through it with a different eye, but everything was so handcrafted, right? And Disney still does, I think, a lot of that. I still feel like Disney paints a lot of stuff. Like, they're not always using 3D printers, although I know they've started some of that, right? And that's really the best, is going to be a hybrid, right? You want to, I mean, Walt took new technology all the time, right? He made a whole movie with a soundtrack that needed special speakers. I mean,
Fantasia.
Right. That's new stuff, right? So we should embrace, I mean, new technology. Lanny Smoot, or, I'm looking at you, um, but I still think a hand painted sign looks better than one that's printed, right? Like
Mhm.
what they do, there's still an art to it that draws you in and keeps that immersiveness alive. It's incredible.
Well, look how they're going back to hand drawn movies now. You know, so there's a time
Yeah.
and place for everything, but you got to hold on to the what got you there, and the hand drawn animation got them there. And I haven't been to Disneyland, but I want to go in the future. But I just want to kind of walk around, take a day, and just look at the windows and look at the architecture and things I've read, things I've seen, and put everything together and go up to his apartment and put that together. But I do the same thing in Florida when we go down. I just kind of look up. Everybody's looking around. I'm looking up and looking at architecture and things they built and how they build it, and that stuff gets my mind going. But yeah, the whole thing I got from the whole handcrafted was just watching these men and women build it 100% with mostly their hands. There wasn't a lot of power
Right.
tools.
And kind of,
Yeah.
that looks
Okay,
good.
and they're putting the
Eyeballing
wrought
it. Yeah.
iron cages together, and they're twisting it with their hands and pliers, and then they're putting the concrete work up with their hand and a twig, trying to make it look like rock, and you don't get that nowadays.
We,
Yeah.
I did
Amazing.
that with an ottoman. So this is a stupid story, but I swear to God, it relates.
Lay it
When
on
my
us.
when my twins were born, we lived in a condo down at the beach here, and we had like an L-shaped couch. And what I wanted was something that kind of we had like this glass death trap coffee table. It was terrible for children to be around, and what I wanted was kind of like an ottoman. I wanted a big fluffy ottoman that I could use for stuff. And I couldn't find it, or if I could find something I liked, it was so expensive because furniture is ridiculous. So I made a 4x4 ottoman. I padded it. I put fabric on it, and then I built it with storage inside. It's a genius. And look, no one's going to call me up to make them one. It wasn't refined, right? But we used it for 8 or 9 years, because I wanted something that I couldn't find. So I just went out and made it, you know? And I guess if it had been a passion of mine, I could have figured out the way to make it sellable, but I just wanted this for me and it was great. We changed our twins on them. You could push it into the couch and make one giant couch, And I didn't have I didn't know what I was doing. I'd never built a piece of furniture in my life, and it worked out great. Again, a little loose around the edges. And I feel like that was a lot of what they did, right? Like they got to work and like you're saying, it was supposed to be on the west side. We got to move it to the east side because we're halfway through, but it would look better by these trees. Let's do it. Like it seems like they always chose doing the right thing over doing the thing, if that makes sense.
One cool example of like a little ingenuity that they did was when you go into Disneyland down Main Street and you make a left. Right now, there's I think it's like the Mary Poppins little themed restaurant. I can't remember the name of it. I'm
Jolly
horrible
Holiday.
with names. Jolly Holiday. That's it. Yeah. After the song. And so that was, I can't even remember what it was before, but it was a restaurant or a little eatery themed to, in Victorian style, like Main Street. But on the other side, if you walk through that building, you can walk into Adventureland. And then that was the, like the Tahitian terrace kind of place. Right. And so if you look at Handcrafted, you can see them thatching a roof in Adventureland with the triangle roof. That's the terrace restaurant there. And on the other side of that triangle roof is a Victorian type thing that's facing Main Street. So same building with two different themed eateries inside. And they had limited space. And so that was just one example of how they were able to use one building in two lands and make them very different. And it's so cool. Like if you look at that scene where they're thatching the roof and all the real intricate design on that in the gable there, that triangle, and other areas in Frontierland, it's like that all had to be drawn up by somebody. They didn't really talk too much about the design and who wrote those plans and the artistic. So maybe that's something Leslie can follow up on, like the beauty of Disneyland. a documentary on who designed like the buildings and the artwork in these lands, because I
Right.
think there's still a lot that's left untold. Even though
Oh yeah.
this was a great documentary, there's probably a lot of stories that can come out of this.
Well, and now I kind of want to do one for each park, right? Like I want to see Orlando's, and
Yeah.
maybe not handcrafted, because obviously I think they probably did things a little differently. But I'd watch Tokyo be built. I'd watch them all. And
Mhm.
you're right. There's got to be more footage of behind those scenes. That's what I mean. I would watch an entire Disney Plus channel of just the footage. I mean,
Sure.
and look, she knows what she's doing, and I know that from editing my stupid videos, like you have to cut stuff, right? Like you
Yeah.
have to get rid of these things, and I become a hoarder very quickly. I was watching something the other night. Oh, we were watching Adolescence. I don't know if anyone's seen that show. We did watch that. It was a kind of British show. It's really good acting. There's a lot of good things about it. I think people liked it, but I felt like they left too much stuff in the film. You know what I mean? Like I know they were trying to build tension, but it just went on and on and on and on. Sorry, I'm getting like 90 texts in a row and I have no idea why. But I mean, my point is, oh my God. My text, if it does it again, I should play it. It's my son from when he was 3 saying it's the ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsnips.
Parsnips.
And he did that totally on his own. I'm going to put it into the microphone because she texts me again because it keeps coming up.
Hey, if it's important, we could take a breather.
No, I don't know what it is. I'm not that important, but I know that I leave things in and I feel like I'm telling a story and I put music to it. And then I realize no one cares but me, so trying to be universally, interesting has got to be hard, but I just would like to see the cutting room floor. There's got to be, it's got to be this deep in film that they didn't use in the movie. And I want to see it all,
But I don't know. That's like one of those jobs that as a fan, it's not something I could do. Like you, I would let's just leave it all in and make this thing 5 hours long.
Right. Well, and like Karen's saying too, some of those 2-hour movies could be 90 minutes. I always try to, what I try to do is think of A River Runs Through It. If you've ever seen that movie, in the beginning, when the 2 boys come in and the minister is, schooling them, is like, good, now make it shorter. Good, now make it shorter. Good, now make it shorter. Good, now go fishing. And that's kind of what I do. I try to go through 4 times, making it shorter and shorter and shorter and seeing what you can get rid of. And then I go fishing. In this case, I would have liked another half an hour of this movie.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the consensus. I think it clocks in at just under 80 minutes or maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, it
goes by quick. Yeah.
So fast. And it's one of those things where you don't notice. You're like, wait, I was watching that. Imagineering Story was the same made. That was a strong beginning to Disney Plus to have that on there. It was so well done. And again, just, she has a great storytelling. I can't imagine why, ability. And so, that's why I've watched it over and over again, because I just want to keep seeing the old footage. And that's, that's really where my heart in Disney lies. I love the new movies. I love the parks. I love everything about it. But that nostalgia and going back to what is my core memories, is really what gets me out of bed in the mornings. Right.
Sure. Yeah. There's a lot of great nostalgic moments in Handcrafted. And I think the one that got to me the most is, when they finally took the Mark Twain out of its little dry dock there. They were the way they got it out of there. They had like guys tethered with little boats and a Jeep on the banks, and they're trying to pull the boat out of there. And they finally get it out. And when they take it on the first run, and this is another thing that Leslie did that's genius, like the music that she chose. Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of, I mean, you could just choose like Disney theme music, but she chose some great music that really just kind of, how do I put it? Like when you're watching this, you knew Disneyland was built by July 17th, 1955. It opened that day. But as you're watching this, you kind of forget that. and you feel a little bit of anxiety, like, are they going to make it? Is it going to be
Right.
done in time? And the music really conveys that emotion. And then when they finally take the Mark Twain out and it goes around and you see the bunting on the side, I got a little emotional at that scene,
Oh yeah.
knowing how, like, you look at everybody that worked on that ship. I mean, they built the hole at the port in Long Beach, and the top of it they built at the Walt Disney Studio. You can see that in a show called the Pre-Opening Report, which is
Oh
on
Yep.
yeah.
Disney Plus.
So Disney Plus. Yep.
Yeah, and you know, it finally, like, that was the moment of truth. Is this going to fit right on the hole? Is everything going to line up, even though it was built in two different spots? And all the anxiety that goes along with that, and seeing everything come together, and everyone that worked on. I mean, you see that guy that was sitting on top of the railing that connects to two smokestacks.
Oh
I
my
think,
gosh. And the details,
yeah,
the details that people put in there, and that's probably the greatest gift that having an
Mhm.
annual pass gives you, is the ability to go in there and not feel rushed and look
Yeah,
around at all this. Because I think what I've always said, that I like when Disney does stuff for no reason. Like when there's a little waterfall where there doesn't need to be one, and it connects
right.
to, I'm thinking in Frontierland, and it just stops there, but it feels like it goes into the waterway,
Mhm.
or where their waterway was. And it's those
Mhm.
little things that didn't need to do it. They could have put another churro stand there or whatever, but it's these little extra things that make me, and honestly make me just open my wallet, and go, here you go.
Yeah, there's
Because
even places in the. Oh, go ahead.
no,
Sorry.
no, it's fine. Places in the,
Oh, there's places in the park that Walt wanted those details, and I remember there was someone that came up to him and said, "Hey, Walt, no one's ever going to see this." Walt said, "I will."
right.
Yep.
And you know, and who knows, they could become visible at some later time. But yeah, your point is well taken. I think not real fans, but all guests, they appreciate that, whether they know it, they're appreciating it or not.
And that's what I
It's
was
just
going
a
to.
feeling you get.
Yes. And I think it's almost subconscious, right? Like you don't know why you're looking at something. It's like art, right? Here's another weird story. I dated a girl who, not that was in before my wife, who went to St. Andrews in Scotland as an art major. And we went up to Philadelphia to the Barnes Foundation before it moved. And I don't know a lot about art, but she was showing me these paintings, and she'd never seen them in color, because one of the things that Barnes did is, for a long time, because the city of Philadelphia had snubbed him, he wouldn't let any of the art be photographed in color, just as kind of like a, oh, you think you're going to tell me what to do with my art? Here's what I'm going to do. Anyway, the paintings were perfect. And then she's like, well, what do you notice? Like when you look at it, but something's off, right? Like you feel something off, but you don't know why. And what it was is, it was French revolutionists, and they didn't want to lose their head. So they do these royal paintings and then paint the eyes flat. So everything
Oh.
about the painting is flawless except for the eyes. And you don't notice it unless you're looking for it, but that feeling still gets out somehow. And I think with what I'm trying to say is that it goes the other way at Disney, where there's a lamp that's just beautifully crafted for no reason somewhere, something that just adds to the details that you could have done without. You absolutely did not need them on the cake, but it does something that grabs you,
Yeah.
So my parents didn't go to. I went to Disney without my parents first for a couple of years, and then when my daughter was born, they went with us. My youngest daughter, and we walked around Hollywood Studios. I think we'd gotten a soda. We're on Echo Lake walking around, and my dad goes, "Come here a second." And I had seen this before, and we walked up, and there was a plaque on the wall for the like the businesses that were in this storefront, and it was a dentist office. I think and it's Dr. Les Payne, Dr. Ruth Canal, and Dr. See How We Pull 'em. And he
Yeah.
thought it was the funniest thing ever. He goes like, "Who sees this?" I'm like, "You saw it. I've seen it before.
Yeah.
Somebody else." And they got a laugh out of it. And it's just small things like that you'll find everywhere in the parks, in Disneyland, anywhere that made somebody laugh. Or you go over by where Muppet Vision used to be, to go across the way. There's a call box there. You can hit the buttons on the call box, and they'll give you different, replies to the, or go pull the rope at Indiana Jones and, help me.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's genius, right? Because
That's awesome.
when you become a lunatic about Disney, like some people do, it gives you a reason to go back, because then you want to see it all, right? Wait, I've never noticed that before. I want to go take a look. I mean, I posted on Facebook the picture of that mirror coming out of Guardians, which is a nod to the mirrors that are in the doors for cast members to come out. There's a mirror, and is everything neat and tidy? Is it neat and tidy?
That was cool.
Neat and
I think it is
clean.
neat and tidy.
Yeah, well, basically, like, make it show worthy kind of
Right.
message.
And and the neat and tidy came from Mickey Mouse Club, which I'd totally forgotten about.
Is everything neat and tidy? Yep. On with the show. That's right.
Well, and so Chris is saying, that the music helps build the story, which, by the way, your coffee mug arrives tomorrow or the next day, and then I will mail it to you, Chris. So just so you know. And I'm sorry, Karen, I'm putting your shirt and Sean's socks and sticker. I'll send you some stuff, I promise, this week. But that was one of the reasons I really enjoyed listening to Lou's podcast first, was to know that all of those sounds were made up, right? Or were engineered.
Yeah. Like if someone didn't tell you that, you wouldn't have known. There's no way.
Might be a nerdy thing to get excited about, but to match that diesel truck engine from that's crazy. What a cool job that would be.
There's that scene where the diesel truck's going and you can see the keys in the ignition there. And if you listen, you can hear the keys kind of, jingle jangle, little dangling sound. But wow, just like Leslie's like Walt, she left no stone unturned. Like, she paid attention to all the details, and that's what makes this just such an amazing creation. But back to Chris's comment on the music, and that'll finish up what I was talking about. The Mark Twain was that music that plays when they're going around the first time, just really kind of makes things come full circle for me. And like, to just know that I can go to Disneyland and ride the Mark Twain. I can go and enjoy that. And the next time I do it, I'll be thinking about this film and paying extra attention to the details, which just will enhance my enjoyment. And just, I got emotional during that part, because you just see everything come together, and the relief on the people's faces. You can see the relief, people hugging, shaking hands, like, hey, we did it. Even though I think this was like a week before Disneyland opened, they still had a lot of work to do in that last week, but you can see people finally like breathing a sigh of relief, like, hey, this is coming together. Look, I'm glad I was part of this. And they took real pride in that work, like you mentioned earlier. Tater.
They did. And it really felt like they felt like they had a responsibility to Walt, right? Cause you see, I mean, I'm sure there's tons more footage of him on that site, or like, Jungle Cruise, designed the Jungle Cruise. Why can't I think of his name?
Harper Goff.
Harper Goff. When he's getting on there for the ride and turns around and Walt's in the back,
It's a great story.
Like, can you imagine how scared you would be
being in the car that's riding around with Walt, laying out the Jungle Cruise? They're sitting in a Etzel station wagon. Hey, we're gonna go ride to the Jungle Cruise. Hop in. And they're doing all that before they.
I want to know where that car is. Is it still around?
That's what I want to know.
Yeah,
because that Disney paint job on it was pretty cool.
On the side of it and everything.
Had the Disneyland logo on it. Yeah, yeah, that was really cool.
Have that, but I think what got me emotional is at the end, and you see all these people standing in line, and you see the workers. They're kind of just laid back, like, "Hey, we built all this. We did all this. I did that." And showing their family, we did this.
Yeah.
I'm like, that got me. When you see the questions on their face of joy.
That's
because 6 months before that, it was nothing but dirt.
6 months.
6 months they built that place.
Walt was saying, it's like, we're like 5 months from opening, and there's not one thing in this park that people would pay 15 cents to see or enjoy. Like, when he said, I'm scared.
And I read a book. I guess it wasn't about Disneyland. I was Florida. I was trying to I feel like when I go to build something, I need like 6 months worth of soil samples. I mean, I can't even put a foundation down or run wiring without
Yeah.
19 people telling me what you got to do for it. And there's reasons for that too. I mean, I'm not complaining. I like inspections. I think they're important, but it is it's amazing the people who went to work there with such pride. And look, there are probably plenty of folks who walked there with their kids or grandkids and said, "See that sign? I put that sign up. I built this."
Yeah.
But so many folks who no one will like. I didn't really get a lot of those guys' names, right? And I would like to know. And I think it was Lou. I know I didn't say it. I'm pretty sure it was Lou. That said, it'd be really cool to have someone who's sitting around, and say that was my granddad or that was my father or whatever, to see their relatives on here, uncredited though they may be, right? Pretty fascinating.
You got to think that's happened. Like someone's like, "Oh, there's my grandpa." Like that's cool. Excuse me.
Oh, you're good.
But yeah, that's something special. Yeah, I do remember Lou saying that, and I remember thinking that too. And when I would leading up to Handcrafted, I would make a lot of posts on my Instagram, and just show clips of like the pre-opening report, or
Mhm.
there's a couple other shows that maybe some of your listeners might want to know about. The pre-opening report, the Disneyland 10th anniversary, a progress report,
So
and a Disneyland story. All those shows are on my YouTube channel, and I would clip from them and play reels. And all these stories, the people that comment would say, "My grandfather worked on this. My dad he worked on some area in Fantasyland. My great grandpa, he did the brickwork, the rock work on Sleeping Beauty Castle." And I hope those people saw, maybe they got lucky, or they're on the cutting room floor, like you said,
Right.
and we'll see them later. But
with
yeah.
thousands of others. I mean, it's just crazy. It's
Mhm.
just so it's funny that the Craft presents Disneyland's 10th anniversary. Disney World. It's Disney World. Sorry. That's what we
Craft
watch.
presents the Craft Disney World 10th anniversary.
Brought to you by
show.
Craft.
Brought to you by Craft.
Is it Craft, maybe?
That's what we
Did
watch.
Craft sponsor that? I'm not sure.
When we get on
Oh,
the
it's
car
Pepsi.
to go to Disney, because we drive down.
Is that the one with Dean Jones?
Oh yeah,
and Michelle Lee? Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Dana Plato.
Dana Plato. She
Wow.
sings the song in there.
It's so bad.
It's so bad.
It's
And then
so
you see
bad.
like the security guard come across diagonally. I
And
wish
Rick-
I could remember the words of that, but it's so corny. Yeah.
And Ricky Schroeder.
Oh boy, that takes us back, huh?
We watch
Silver
that
Spoons?
every year on the way to Disney. That's what we put in. So when we get in the
Do you?
car, yep, I put it on my phone and put it up on the front and play it through the speakers. And we watch that thing, and it's the Gatlin
So you know the
Brothers.
song. What is it?
Oh.
It's like Sunshine, something about sunshine. Like
Hers. I don't. So I can't remember her
does it go?
words. I can sing the other bags are all packed.
He knows it. He doesn't want to
Vacation
sing
is
it.
gonna be
he
great.
does. Come on.
Disney World
People
or
want to
bust.
see this.
And Dean Jones sings the one with Ricky Schroeder about fathers and dads, buddies and pals. It's so bad. But I
Dean
tell my
Jones
wife-
was he was a recording artist before
Yeah.
he got it
I
into
didn't know that.
acting.
I love
he
Dean
sang-
Jones.
He let's see. There's a really popular song that he sang. I wish I could sing it for you. I sang it on a podcast a while ago. But yeah, he was on a sitcom too before. It was a sitcom about the Navy sailing around. Who was on a ship? I wish I could remember that too. My
McHale's
memory's
Navy?
awful. Huh?
Was it McHale's Navy?
It was kind of like McHale's Navy, but no, not that. That was with Joe Flynn, who
he
you
was
see a
disc
lot
jockey
in
Teddy-
70s movies.
Disc jockey Teddy Talbot in Elvis Presley's Jailhouse Rock.
Yeah.
Huh, I didn't know that. Wow.
He played in a couple racy movies, like Under the Yum Yum Tree is kind of one that he did before.
Oh yeah.
That's the movie about his fiance. They can't do anything until they're married. And so
So it says as Ensign O'Toole.
Ensign O'Toole, that's it. Thank you.
It was a lead-in show on NBC to Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. It played before the show. That's right. And he sings a song in that. If you just look up Ensign O'Toole, Dean Jones song, you'll see like a really cool song. I think he sang it at like a little
I need to find
beauty
that
pageant or something.
show now.
But
I'm looking to see what song he.
Yeah.
I
the
have
craft special.
Yeah, I love Dean Jones, and I keep forgetting. I really want to read his. He wrote an autobiography, and I really would like to read, because I think he kind of went through some stuff and was kind of a womanizer and a drinker, and then kind of realized he didn't want to do that anymore. And
he saw the light one day. Yeah.
But that darn cat is one of my favorite.
Sure. Yeah. That darn cat. Blackbeard's Ghost is probably my favorite.
That's such a classic.
Yeah.
Monkeys Go Home.
We're getting into my arena here now.
Yes.
I love those movies. Yeah, that's kind of what I celebrate on my Instagram. So
Monkeys Go Home is I mean, that's a beautiful film.
He's got a great dance number in there with Yvette Mimieux, who was the girl, that his love interest in that, who also was in The Black Hole.
Yes,
that's
The Black Hole.
Ugly Dachshund.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with Suzanne Pleshette.
I love Suzanne Pleshette.
Yeah,
we just watched.
It was her birthday earlier, and I posted a clip of her singing "Whoever You Are" from the great Disney classic that everyone knows, The Adventures of Bullwhip Griffin,
which I love,
which is a great movie, and it's on Disney Plus.
It's an awesome movie.
Yeah, Roddy McDowall is in it, and so is Carl Malden. So those are two faces that are fun to see.
Okay.
You haven't seen that?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
Oh, it's so good.
It's cool. You'll like it. Yeah, it's a corny movie,
but it's so much fun.
Is it on Disney Plus, or where do I find it at?
Yeah, that one's on Disney Plus.
I'll watch it tonight.
Yeah, it's really good. And Roddy McDowall
next week.
typically kind of freaks me out a little bit. Like, I don't know, Roddy McDowall did some weird movies. So his autobiography, Dean Jones, running under running laughter, is $75.
Wow, it's out of print, huh?
Yeah, it's out of print, and there's just not much of it. Paperback is $2,600.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know why it says that.
I better get the hardback then.
Yeah, I might
hardcover.
I might need to start hitting
Yikes!
Like thrift shops or something. That's crazy.
Yeah. You never know. One movie that, when I post about Dean Jones, one movie that people always put is The Horse in the Gray Flannel Suit.
Oh, love that movie.
Yeah.
And I actually posted that one to my YouTube channel, and Disney didn't say, no, you can't. So it's still up there. But it's got Diane Baker, and I think Kurt Russell is in that one too.
Oh yeah,
very young. Kurt
he
Russell.
drives a nice little sports car and hauls trailers around with horses in it in an MG.
Yeah, boy, that trailer that Dean Jones bought for Aspercell, what a fit.
Aspercell.
Yeah.
See, Lori says now she feels old. I'm still watching.
That's okay.
Don't feel old at all. I think what you mean is awesome. You're mispronouncing that.
Yeah. These movies are great.
I do. And that's what
I love about Disney the most. And that's what I want Josh tomorrow and I'm already forgot her name. It's
Dana Walden.
No.
Dana Walden.
Walden.
To get all of those on Disney Plus. Like, if it means for me having to take down some stuff that I got on YouTube, so be it. I'd rather it all be on Disney Plus.
I mean, is it because of licensing agreements, or why is it not?
Yeah. Well, a lot of these films that aren't on Disney Plus, you can still stream on like Apple, Amazon, YouTube. And so there's contracts Disney made with those streaming services. And I don't know if Disney's really interested in like getting in and like, pulling out of those contracts so they could put them on Disney Plus, because perhaps I think there's still a market for those movies. People are streaming them and buying them. So I'm sure Disney's getting money from that, and I'm not sure if they do put them on Disney Plus, will they see a bump in their subscriptions? I don't know. But
Well, if I remember when they first started Disney Plus, that was their deal, was you're gonna be able to see things you haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, and that's what
Okay,
Bob
great, there's
Iger
gonna be a
promised.
Walt Disney, and there was nothing ever like it.
Yeah. Bob Iger said that they were going to put all of that stuff on there, and he didn't deliver. So people say, I love Bob Iger. I love Bob Iger. And I think it was great. Don't get me wrong, but I've got this in the back of my mind. It's like, oh, but you didn't follow through on your Disney Plus promise. So maybe he took that Post-it note and gave it to Josh. Says, oh, by the way, we gotta deliver here.
And look, a lot of those
films,
be
the lady's job,
right, are referenced throughout the parks. Like there's still references to those movies, little tiny things that exist. I mean, I love
Popham's reference in the Emporium at Disney World.
Right.
He's Burl Ives' character in Summer Magic, which is not on Disney Plus. So people see that. Who's Osh Popham? I don't know. And they just walk away.
Well, and first time my kids went through the Imagination Pilgrim Pavilion, and they see the sneakers by the computer.
Yeah.
My daughter's like, what's with the sneakers with the light? And I went, oh my God.
You've never seen the computer wore tennis shoes? What is going on?
And there's another great Joe Flynn, right?
Joe Flynn. Have you guys seen the $1 Million Duck?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That'll have you rolling because of Joe Flynn. And then on top of that, his Dean Higgins in the Dexter Riley trilogy. Right. So those 4 movies right there are like must-see TV, or
I kind of roll through and my patient wife, but I kind of roll through like Snowball Express. I'll kind of run
that's a great one.
Yeah, I'll kind of run through Dean Jones movies. So Horse in the Gray Flannel Suit, and then I'll get through Monkeys Go Home. One I've just found that I really love is Bon Voyage with Fred McMurray.
And Aunt Polly is in that.
Is not even necessarily a Disney movie. Like, I mean, that movie really just seems like a classic film. Like, it's not particularly. I mean, it is, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a really well done, awesome movie.
It's one of those movies where Walt was like, hey, let's make something for the adult audience, because there's some adult themes in there.
Right.
Adult meaning like for adults.
Right. Nothing like, it's not.
But like, a guy is hitting on Fred McMurray's wife in a casino.
Right.
And you've got his daughter who's being chased after by this like, kind of a snooty rich kid that kind of has no idea what love's all about, and it takes Fred McMurray to teach him what love really is. And but like all those great scenes in Paris, like we went to Paris this year for the first time, and I was like, hey, this is in Bon Voyage. That's in Bon Voyage too. My wife's like, stop talking about the Disney movies. And then we went to Disneyland Paris for a day.
How was that?
Oh, it was great. We just went for one day, and so we kind of splurged. We bought that premiere pass they offer out there.
Oh wow!
So we were able to skip the lines on lots of attractions. So we did both parks in one day, even though the Studios park was really a shell of what it will be here shortly. Right. So we really didn't need to do a whole day there, but it was great. The Big Thunder there is awesome. The Lion King show out there is. Do not miss those two things, but it was fun. Yeah. Want to go back. We didn't see the dragon under the castle. It was closed when we got there. I was like, oh, we missed the window. And so, yeah, we got a reason to go back.
Yeah. We were just talking, I guess, last week, and I have a little bit of a monorail problem as well. And when we were in California, they still let you ride in the front, but they weren't doing it that day. And then Kyle sent me a picture. Kyle, he just left. He was at Disney Springs, but he just sent me a picture of him in the front of the monorail. I'm like, thanks, dude. I appreciate it.
Guy.
Rub it in just a little bit.
Karen
Yeah.
says
Have you
Ken
ever
Berry.
done that, Andrew?
Sir?
The front of the monorail?
I did ride it back before before they
Okay.
stopped doing it at Disney World.
You did?
Yeah.
So probably 2004, I think, is when I did it.
I didn't know that about you.
It was kind of like after they had that accident, right? When they
Yeah. Yep.
stopped
Right.
letting folks.
Now they're letting people
Ken
go up
Berry.
front, take pictures and stuff like that. But
Karen says Ken Berry is her favorite
That's awesome.
old Disney actor. I need
Yeah.
to I keep saying this. It's on my list. I don't have a whiteboard. I don't have a list either.
Mhm.
But
Herbie Rides Again is one of his movies.
Yep. I've got
And The Cat from Outer Space.
I was
Yeah.
doing, which I also love. I was doing
Mm.
all of the live actions that I have. So I was going alphabetically through mine. And then I went in the hospital, and I don't think I've done any since then.
I
Maybe
miss
one or
seeing your
two.
post, man.
I need to go back and finish up
Yeah.
because I'm purposely, so I fall asleep with the TV on. So I want something I've seen so that it doesn't keep
Mhm.
me up all night. And so
Sure.
I rotate these same movies, but I know I stopped
Yeah.
around M or maybe a little after that. So for the last 6 months, I've only watched movies in the top half of my list because I don't want to spoil the ones I haven't
Yeah,
watched.
that
It's
makes
stupid.
sense.
Does it?
Well, I want to hear Andrew's report on Bullwhip Griffin, so I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
that
I'm gonna
show
watch it
next
tonight.
week. Yeah.
heck yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
if you haven't,
it's a Western, so I like Westerns. So
it is.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and it takes place during the gold rush era of California.
cool.
It's cool.
definitely.
It really
look at
is.
some of
It's a
You'll
silly,
see some familiar faces in it. I think you
Okay.
like it.
and it's funny.
Good movie. Mm-hmm.
So, like around here, we're talking about movies and stuff in Charleston. Like we had Blockbuster and stuff like that. We had a lot of homegrown rental stores, VHS
Yeah,
tapes.
like a
People know what those are.
family-owned one. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they had like a whole Disney section, but it was all like Apple Dumpling Gang, Computer Wars stickers,
Yeah.
all that stuff. And my dad would be like, "Okay, you get to pick one movie that you want to watch, and then you get to watch a movie from when I was a kid." So then we kind of go back and forth. So that's how I got to learn a lot of the movies, is just watching
All those
movies
white
that-
clamshells up there, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I lived with. I grew up with
we
my,
did that a lot as a kid too. Yeah,
I grew
that's
up with
how
my-
I was introduced to those movies.
with my grandmothers. So my grandmothers,
Mhm.
you know, I thought Humphrey Bogart was a new actor until I was about 11. I had no idea that these were old movies. This is
Yeah,
just
John
what was
Wayne.
on.
Yeah.
All my dad watched still does. My grandfather was John Wayne movies. So as a kid, I'm like, "What are you watching?" I'm watch Rio Lobo tonight. Okay, all right.
Karen says Haley Mills, and she's awesome. I love
Yeah.
her and
Oh,
that darn
my
cat.
favorite.
That's,
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
will say that going back and watching them, they could have done better with her hair. That's a weird thing to say, and it's not. I don't mean it to be ugly.
Haley's hair is kind of up in a bun kind of.
She has
thing,
some
yeah.
bizarre haircuts in there, which are very,
That was the 60s.
very strange.
I love her scene with Ed Wynn. I'm so glad that they got to do that scene together. Two great Disney actors there coming together.
Yeah, Edwin was incredible too.
Yeah. Of
Just
course,
awesome.
Pollyanna's my favorite Haley film, or first, but
Yeah, it's long
Yeah.
but fantastic.
yeah.
The only one
Right
I
up
can't.
there
can't-
she is.
Oh yeah, the only one I didn't even notice that. The only
Yeah.
one I can't bring myself to really, and I'm going to try again, is The Happiest Millionaire.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
that's
wow,
what
there
I-
you go.
Right there behind him.
So it's one
Yeah.
of those things that checks every box for me, and for some reason I just can't get through. I don't know why.
It's
Maybe I'll watch that tonight.
The Happiest Millionaire is like I think of it as like fine wine and cheese for the Disney live action movie connoisseur. Like I would not put, if you're trying to get into Disney live action, I would not put Happiest Millionaire on first.
Okay.
Start with the tried and true Swiss Family, The Love Bug, Treasure Island, those kind of movies. And then once you
Blackbeard.
get an appreciation for these actors, because The Happiest Millionaire is like dessert. I mean, you see all these great actors you've seen in a lot of other films. Now they're all together. Fred McMurray,
Yeah, it's a
Leslie Ann
huge
Warren,
cast.
Ron
Huge.
Davidson. Yeah.
Well, you're right. And then that can lead you like down the road of some of the ones like I think a
Mhm.
lot of people like Light in the Woods. Is it Light in the Woods?
The Light in the Forest.
Light in the Forest,
Yeah,
Which
with James MacArthur,
which
Bess
I
Parker,
love.
yeah.
Or
Yeah, good movie.
what was the other one? I was just thinking of another one that was kind of what's the one with him where he his uncle and he's in the castle and his crazy creepy uncle keeps trying
Kidnapped.
to kidnapped. That's right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Another great film. And that
It's
doesn't
a Robert Louis Stevenson book.
right.
And yeah, that's a great movie. See, right now I'm going through all those Disney films that were set in Europe. So I just got done. I start with Treasure Island, Robin Hood. There was an old 1952 Robin Hood film that Walt did before the animated. And then The Sword and the Rose, which was Glynis John's first movie for Walt.
Was it really?
Yeah, she did 2, The Sword and the Rose, and then Rob Roy the following year.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't 10 years later that she did Mary Poppins, was Mrs. Banks.
10 years. Wow.
Yeah. And a funny story about that is when Walt asked her to come audition for the film, she thought she was going to be Mary. She's like, she got so excited, like, oh, I'm going to be Mary Poppins. This is going to be great. And when she got there, she's like, when do I start reading for Mary? Like they're reading through the script, and someone like, who's going to tell her that Julie Andrews has already got that part?
Oh no.
And so she almost said, you know what? I'm not going to do that. But she's a very gracious, very British actress. And she said, well, if you write a great song for Mrs. Banks, then I'll do the part.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
After the meeting. Yeah, Walt got on the phone with the Sherman Brothers to say, hey, you guys need to come up with a song right now for Mrs. Banks.
A happy suffrage song, quick.
Yeah. It's like, we got just the song, which was something they dusted off the shelf for something they cut out of a previous film, and came up with the Sister Suffragette song, and she loved it and did the part, and we're all blessed for it.
We really are. I mean, that's my wife.
Yeah.
Every time I do something dumb is just, as a group, we're rather stupid.
It's true though, right?
Yeah, it absolutely is.
We like them individually, but
Brian, did you have anything else in your notes we didn't cover?
No, I think pretty much we got everything. It was fun writing down things that kind of forced me to pay extra close attention. So, but no, thanks for having me on. I appreciate you coming on and talking about Handcrafted, and then we ended it the way I would love, talking about these great movies.
Look, you can come back once a month and talk about these movies and give us trivia. I mean, I love talking to you about it. Yeah. I was telling, I know I said this last time you were on, but I think it's really funny and thinking about the internet is when I shared something of yours and Brian DM me or put in a comment, hey, thanks for sharing my stuff. And I thought, oh my God, I've stolen, he's mad at me. I was like, I'm so sorry. I just thought it was really cool, and I wanted my friends to see it. And he's like, no, keep doing it. It's fine. But I love
when people clip from my channel. It's just like, this is not my stuff.
The rules are so weird. This is
Walt stuff,
right?
Yeah. Some people will watermark. I don't like when people watermark like a clip of Walt or something, right? Unless they like restored it to HD quality, then I think they're trying to put their trademark on it. But
Karen says, "Have you back?"
Put this stuff out there. I love people sharing. I love seeing people share the films on there, get the word out, help folks learn about, like, Andrew's going to go watch Bullwhip Griffin tonight, and I couldn't be happier. Like, this is odd. That's my objective for doing my Instagram account, is to get people excited about these movies.
And that's what excited me so much about finding Bon Voyage, to find a new one, right? Like I found Monkeys Go Home, I'd never heard of, right? And then I think I was just kind of going, well, what else did Dean Jones do? And I was looking through it, and then Monkeys Go Home, and then I was like, wait a minute, this is a Disney film? I'd never heard of it in my life. So I love stumbling across a new one every now and again, because there's plenty of stuff that's kind of hidden, right?
Yeah. If you look at these actors and actresses that did these movies, they did multiple. And so, you go down that rabbit hole, like Leslie Ann Warren and John Davidson did Happiest Millionaire. And then a year later, they did another great classic that should be on Disney Plus, The One and Only Genuine Original Family Band.
I love that movie.
Which is Goldie Hawn's first movie ever.
Yep.
He's a Republican. which just cracks me
Yeah,
up.
that can get I think maybe I understand why it's not on Disney Plus.
It's not that bad.
Because the one of the things they talk about in that film is the Electoral College, and
right.
that's not controversial at all, right?
At
Not at
all.
all. No.
It's so funny though. But it's such a great movie. I just, and that's what I like. When I need to go put look, you got 2 fans. Look, Lori says bring you back as well. That's a resounding we'll just put you on the calendar.
I could talk about these movies all day.
And that's what Tuesday nights are for, right?
Yeah.
The I got excited about that. Now I can't think what I was going to say. Something about the movies. Oh, what I really, and I don't always have time. When I was doing these posts, and I'll do one tomorrow. I'll go back and figure out tonight where I am on the list. But one of the things I love is I just do quick research real quickly to see if I can find really just the major players, like where their Disney connection comes in. And then when I started, I didn't post about it, but then I wanted to see how many of them were on the Love Boat and what episode. Like, because everybody was on the Love Boat.
Everybody's done a Love Boat episode, yeah.
I'm kind of surprised they don't bring that back. Like, I wonder if you could.
See
I don't know if I want to see a Love Boat type show with all the Disney Channel actors and actresses on it.
Maybe just in general.
The kids would love it, though.
I will say this: we watched again. So I put on the Gong Show for my kids.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And we really liked it.
Yeah.
Like we had a lot of fun.
Dance machine.
Like all my kids, we went back with more stuff. Like all my kids now do an
that
impression.
host was pretty zany. I can't remember his name, but boy, he was over the top.
Chuck Barris. Yeah.
Chuck Barris.
What was his name?
Chuck Barris.
Chuck Barris.
Chuck Barris.
And if you really want to, you should go watch the movie they made about him where he's a CIA operative. It's fantastic.
Okay. I'll put that on my list.
It's
okay. That's what I'm gonna watch.
It really. Hold on. I'll tell you what it is before. This is great. This is why you gotta listen live, guys. Because if you listen to the podcast, you might miss this. So they did a movie, and I'm telling you, it's called Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, directed by George Clooney, and it's got. I'm not kidding you.
George Clooney.
Yeah, and in the movie. The cast, Sam Rockwell, Drew Barrymore, George Clooney, Dick Clark, Michael Sweeney, Michael Cera. I mean, it's unbelievable who's in this film.
Sounds like Morgan. A modern day, it's a mad world or something.
Oh, also a classic film. But the thing that we did find about the Gong Show, I was saying maybe we should bring this back. That would be a great idea. And they did, and Mike Myers did it, and it was awful. It was just unwatchable.
Oh no,
it was so bad. Yeah, I think
he'd be the guy too.
I feel like the universe just came to one little point for the Gong Show, and it was it only lasted like 3 seasons.
Had to be in the 70s.
Yeah, that was it. It was never going to survive. Where drinking and drugs were so just passed out to people, and you could do whatever you want.
They couldn't do the match game today either.
No, exactly not.
Hollywood Squares, not gonna happen.
It would be a hate crime. Everyone who watched it would be in jail. It'd be terrible.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, please tell everybody where to find you if they don't know you already.
Okay. Well, you can find me on Instagram. I'm Keeping Walt in Disney, all one word, and my YouTube channel has the same name. So, I share a lot of clips of live action film and TV on my channel or my Instagram, and I'll mostly direct you over to my YouTube channel so I can get my sub count up higher a little bit. But,
do we need to get your sub count up? We'll make it.
No, it's cool. I think it's fine. I think people they don't subscribe; they just watch it, and that's fine.
That's almost everybody.
It's a good channel,
right?
Yeah. I think people enjoy it, and I think that was something that folks were kind of hoping Disney Plus would do. I don't advertise that, but I kind of like to stay under the radar. That's why my channel is not named like the Disney Television Channel or something like that.
Well, you've got 56,000 subscribers. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah. And there's about 1,200 videos on there. I'm currently working on some educational stuff in the 80s, and then I'm going back through. I just recently added a few theatrical versions of the Texas John Slaughter series. I love those old
Oh,
Western series that
yes.
were on the anthology. Like, I just came across a couple VHS tapes of Texas John Slaughter movies, and so I just
Mhm.
digitized them and uploaded them. And yeah, so
Yeah.
when I come across something, I'll throw it up there, and as long as Disney gives me the thumbs up, and then I'll put it
Have
on
they
there.
had you take stuff down?
Yeah, from time to time they'll scan and take things down, and that's great because if like one example is Disneyland Goes to the World's Fair, which is a great documentary of Walt just basically showcasing all the
Oh yeah.
attractions that he was taking to the World's Fair. And maybe that's a good topic for the next time I come on, or we can talk about those. But um, that is not anywhere. It's not on Disney Plus. It's only on DVD. It was released on a treasures set called Your Host Walt Disney, I believe, or another one similar to that. And they took it down. And so it leads me to believe that maybe that's coming to Disney Plus someday. So the things they take down are probably coming to Disney Plus, or they've got plans to do that. I don't know. That's what I like to think.
Yes. Yeah, because
Yeah.
that I would watch that in a heartbeat.
That's a great one.
That.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've
It's
ever seen it.
Yeah, and I wish I could put it out there. It's just the only way that people can see that is if they go buy that DVD right now, because Disney won't let you stream it.
Hmm.
So
And Chris says Dick Van Dyke was on the Love Boat.
how many times?
He had to have been on there, right? Like I honestly, I'm not sure, but I can't believe they would get away. We actually went back and watched that as a show, and it's kind of cool. Like it held up okay. I mean, it's goofy.
Kaylee Mills was on an episode too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Andrew, what do you got going on, buddy?
So we drive home on Saturday morning. We'll be in Orlando for 2 days, and we'll do some stuff outside the park. We're going to record. We're going to go to the big Ferris wheel to the Icon Park area.
Oh,
Maybe go to
cool.
Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, and then doing Ohana Saturday night for dinner, and then Sunday we got some friends coming in with. We're going to hang out at Disney Springs, probably go live there, and then go to Enzo's Hideaway that night. And then Monday we get on Utopia to Sea for a week. So Tuesday, I'm going to try to go live with you on Tuesday if I can get good signal on the boat. I'll let you know either way.
Right on. Save some chicken wings for me. I love those Ohana chicken wings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll be back Friday, and then we're going to spend 2 days in the park Friday, Saturday, and come home Sunday. So I have a lot of content to edit and post. So looking forward to that.
Cool. And then again, I think if you just Google "but mostly Disney," you can see what we got going on. So we'll have to see if next week works for a show or not. We may or may not be here, but follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and if you're listening, jump over to Apple or Spotify and leave us a review. It really helps the show out and find. Karen says there's other stuff in Orlando besides Walt Disney World.
I've had to do my research. I didn't know this.
Right. We're gonna have to look around. Yeah, we're gonna go down in February. I'm not sure. I didn't put it up, but I finished a review of Old Key West, which was a great resort. Really enjoyed staying there, and that'll be up. And then and I think I'm only this episode and one more episode behind on the audio. So yeah, if you guys wouldn't mind jumping over to Apple or something and just writing a quick review, hopefully a good one.
I think I left you a review, didn't I?
Be honest. I think you did. Yep.
We got a 1 star from somebody.
Yeah.
Oh man, who did that? How dare
they?
Look,
not me.
I don't care. Loved or hated, just don't ignore us. That's all I care about.
I said love Sean and Andrew. I should have said Tater.
Either one's
just
fine.
A couple of dudes who share their joy of Disney with an upbeat attitude. Great community to be a part of. Yeah. There we go.
And Tony says she's making Ohana chicken wings for Super Bowl Sunday.
Ooh.
And I will tell you, that's what Karen said as well. I will tell you, and I keep meaning, but I just haven't had time. I want to do a monthly cooking video, a Disney cooking video, because a lot of the recipes I've made have come out really, really good. And in particular, those wings come out and taste pretty darn close. And also the noodles from Ohana, you can make those and come.
Oh, those are good.
Yeah. I mean, they come out really, really nice. It's pretty awesome. All right. Well, thanks, Brian, for being so generous with your time.
Yeah, thanks,
Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks for having me back. It was fun.
We love it. And
Enjoyed
if anybody out there needs anything, please reach out to us, and we'll hopefully see you next week.
See you soon.